Ghost is dead, or so everyone believes. But what if the man who ruled New York from the shadows never really left? What if his return is not to save Tommy and Tariq, but to destroy them? Power Legacy is not just a new chapter. It is the moment when friends become enemies, when loyalty is tested, and when the past comes back with a knife in its hand. Because this time, the biggest threat is not a new villain. The biggest threat is the legend himself. Power Legacy opens the door to a darker and more dangerous New York than ever before. Tommy Egan is finally coming back to the city where everything started. Chicago was only a battlefield. New York is the throne. And Tommy's goal is no longer just survival. Now he wants full control. He wants to become the official crime lord of New York, the man whose name alone can stop wars before they begin. But power does not come without consequences. Every step Tommy takes forward pulls old enemies and buried secrets back into the light. Tariq is also standing at a crossroads. After everything he has lost, he is done being a student of the game. He wants to be the one writing the rules. His mind is sharper than ever, but his soul is heavier. He carries the weight of his father's death, his mother's pain, and the blood he spilled to reach this point. When Tommy and Tariq reunite, it is not just a partnership. It is a dangerous alliance between two men who both want control, but in very different ways. Tommy believes in force. Tariq believes in strategy. Together, they could rule the city. But together, they could also destroy each other. As the streets begin to shift, familiar faces return to the board. Braden becomes more than just a helper. He becomes essential. He is the bridge between clean money and dirty deals, the mask that hides crime behind respectability. Tasha's mind is once again needed, not as a mother, but as a survivor who understands how the game truly works. Davis steps in with legal power that can save empires or bury them forever. And in the shadows, people like Effie wait, watching carefully, ready to choose the side that benefits them the most. But the true danger is not in who comes back. It is in who never left. Rumors begin to spread across the city. Plans fail without explanation. Crews get exposed at the perfect moment. Deals collapse seconds before they succeed. Someone is pulling strings behind the curtain. Someone who understands Tariq's mind better than anyone. Someone who knows Tommy's anger like a brother would. And slowly, a terrifying idea starts to grow. What if Ghost is alive? The belief that Ghost faked his death is not just a wild theory anymore. The signs are too precise. Only Ghost could predict Tariq's moves this well. Only Ghost could turn allies into weapons without ever being seen. If Ghost is truly alive, then he is no longer the man he used to be. He is not coming back as a father. He is not coming back as a hero. He is coming back as a villain who wants to reclaim the world he built. And this is where Power Legacy becomes something completely new. Because now the story is not about fighting the streets. It is about fighting the past. Tommy must face the brother he thought he buried. Tariq must face the father he thought he killed. And both of them must ask the same question. If Ghost is alive, does he want to rule with them, or does he want them gone? The city of New York is about to become a chessboard. Every move matters. Every mistake costs lives. And the greatest player in the game may already be 3 steps ahead. Power Legacy is not about who will rise. It is about who will survive when the ghost of the past becomes the king of the future. The idea of Ghost being alive changes everything. It turns the entire game upside down. Tommy and Tariq are no longer just fighting rivals from the streets. They are fighting a mind that built the empire they are now trying to control. Ghost does not need armies to start wars. He only needs information. And in New York, information is deadlier than bullets. Strange things begin to happen. A drug pipeline collapses without warning. A rival crew is wiped out by police raids that happen at the exact wrong time. Witnesses appear out of nowhere, and court cases that should be easy suddenly become impossible to win. Every move Tommy and Tariq make feels like it is being predicted before it even happens. Tariq starts to feel it first. The patterns are too familiar. The timing is too perfect. It feels like someone is correcting his decisions from the shadows, forcing him into traps that look like victories. Tommy, on the other hand, reacts with anger. He does not believe in ghosts. He believes in enemies. And if Ghost is alive, then Ghost is no longer his brother. He is a traitor who watched him suffer from the dark. Tommy's rage grows because part of him wants it to be true. Part of him wants to face Ghost again, not with love, but with a gun. But another part of him is scared, because if Ghost really survived, then it means he planned it. And if he planned it, then everything happening now is also part of his plan. Ghost's return is not loud. It is silent. He does not walk into the streets. He does not announce himself. Instead, he uses others. Old enemies rise again, stronger than before. New villains appear with perfect funding and protection. Even people like Kane and Diana begin to feel like they're being guided. Revenge becomes a weapon. Pain becomes a tool. Ghost understands one thing better than anyone else. People are easiest to control when they think they are acting on their own emotions. Tariq begins to suspect the truth when he realizes something terrifying. The mistakes he is making are the same mistakes Ghost once warned him about. But now, those mistakes are being used against him. It is as if Ghost is teaching him a lesson from the shadows. Not as a father, not as a mentor, but as an enemy who wants to prove a point that Tariq will never escape him. That killing him was never the end of the story. It was only the beginning. The most dangerous part is that Ghost does not want to rule openly. He wants to rule through chaos. He wants Tommy and Tariq to fight each other without even realizing it. Small disagreements turn into major conflicts. Trust begins to crack. Tommy questions Tariq's loyalty. Tariq questions Tommy's control. And every crack in their alliance makes Ghost stronger. Because while they fight, he builds. Meanwhile, the streets of New York begin to feel different. There is fear, but it is not loud fear. It is quiet fear. The kind that comes from not knowing who is watching you. Crews stop trusting each other. Deals require double security. No one feels safe because no one knows who is really in charge anymore. The city feels haunted, like a spirit is moving through it, touching everything without ever being seen. And then comes the first true warning. A message that can only come from one man. A move that only Ghost would make. Something personal. Something symbolic. Something that tells Tommy and Tariq the same thing at the same time. I am here. At that moment, the question is no longer whether Ghost is alive. The question becomes why he came back. Is he here for revenge? Is he here to take back the throne? Or is he here to punish the two people who replaced him? Tommy wants war. Tariq wants answers. But Ghost wants control. Power legacy is no longer about the future. It is about the past refusing to stay buried. And when the dead return, they do not come back as the people you remember. They come back as the monsters you created. When Ghost finally steps into the light, the world does not see a man who survived death. It sees a king who planned it. Ghost is no longer the smooth businessman trying to live two lives. He is colder, quieter, and far more dangerous. Death did not change him. It perfected him. He watched New York from a distance, studied every move Tommy and Tariq made, and learned exactly where their weaknesses live. And now, he returns not to share power, but to reclaim it. Ghost does not want the streets the old way. He wants control without fingerprints. He wants to run New York through systems, through legal businesses, through people who never even realize they are working for him. His vision is bigger than Tommy's hunger and smarter than Tariq's ambition. He does not see them as partners. He sees them as mistakes that need to be corrected. Tariq is the first to confront him, not with a gun, but with questions. Why fake your death? Why watch from the shadows? Why let everything fall apart? And Ghost's answer is simple. Because Tariq had to become what he is now. Ghost believes pain created the perfect successor. But now, that successor thinks he no longer needs his creator. And that is something Ghost cannot accept. He sees Tariq as his legacy, but also as his greatest failure. A son who refused to follow the full plan. Tommy's reunion with Ghost is pure fire. There is no calm. There is no forgiveness. Only anger and betrayal. Tommy does not care about strategy or destiny. He cares about the years he lost, the wars he fought, and the brother who chose to disappear instead of standing beside him. To Tommy, Ghost's survival is not genius. It is cowardice. And when they face each other, it feels like the past itself is about to explode. The city becomes the battlefield, not with one big war, but with many small ones. Crews turn on each other. Alliances fall apart. Characters we thought were loyal reveal new sides. Some choose Ghost because he offers safety. Some choose Tommy because he offers strength. Some choose Tariq because he offers the future. And some choose themselves, proving once again that in this world, loyalty is always temporary. Deaths begin to shape the story. Not random deaths, but meaningful ones. Every loss pushes the main characters closer to their breaking point. Tommy becomes more reckless. Tariq becomes more ruthless. And Ghost becomes more unstoppable. Each of them believes they are right. Each of them believes they are saving something. But in truth, they are all becoming villains in someone else's story. The final conflict is not just about territory. It is about identity. Who is the true king of New York? The man who built the empire? The man who protects it with blood? Or the man who will inherit it with brains? Ghost wants to erase his past and rule the future. Tommy wants to burn the past and own the present. Tariq wants to escape the past and control what comes next. Power legacy reaches its peak when all three paths collide. And the most tragic part is that none of them can win without losing something they love. A brother, a son, or themselves. And in the end, Power legacy does not ask who is the strongest. It asks who is willing to become the monster. Because in New York, legends are not born. They are built on bodies, lies, and broken families. Ghost's return as a villain is not just a twist. It is a warning. The past never dies. It only waits for the perfect moment to take everything back.